Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the F-Pace SVR. This is one of the last great performance V8 SUVs. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Jaguar here in downtown Salt Lake for giving me some time with this SVR. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Brian. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a supercharged 5-liter V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 15 around town, 21 on the highway, with power outputs being 575 horsepower and then 516 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So taking a look at the hood, you guys can see the little vent pieces there on either side. Notice how it raises up towards the center. And then the light design, I think, is pretty cool looking. Notice wide open, you got lots of need for airflow with this. You see Jaguar SVR as well. But yeah, cool looking car. Tire and wheel setup is 265 by 40 by 22 in the front, and then 295 by 35 by 22 in the rear. And you can see here with the wheels, you've got the metallic gray, and then you've got like that satin gray as well. You've got the Jaguar logo on the red brake caliper. That looks really cool. Nice painted fender flares. You got the vent piece there on the side. And then sporty side profile. Look at that. It's cool looking. This leads us to the key fob. We have our lock and unlock function. We've got the button to turn on the lights. Opening for the hatch. Jaguar logo there on the back. We'll pop it open. And bada bing, bada boom. We've got some space here in the rear. See a little 12 volt there in the back. This is for the seats to fold them down. But yeah, it is definitely a practical SUV. I'd say just for size comparison, not for vehicle comparison, it's similar in size to like a Toyota RAV4. Press that button and that will lower the hatch right back down. And then look at the taillights on this thing. Those are also fun. SVR, of course, and then crazy exhaust tips. You guys will love the exhaust note on this, but there's the rear. Now popping inside, you can see we've got nice stitching and soft touch there at the top, like this trim down below. More nice trim, very high quality looking. And then here are the seats, perforated all down the center. Getting in's pretty easy. Got good leg room, little storage pocket. I like this in the back of the seat, that's cool. You've got vents here in the rear, see heated seats, got our USB ports below that. And then headroom back here is actually good. This now leads us up front, where you can see again, you've got the nice stitching down below as well. And look at this trim. All of your window controls, mirrors power fold in. You've got your memory seat function, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. Jaguar. Anyways, perforated all down the center. Power adjustments on the side. Got nice soft touch trim here. I like this again. And then look at that. We've got some Alcantara up top as well. And then nice looking pedals. Now take a look at the steering wheel. I like the trim on the outside. That's kind of an interesting texture. But you've got cool contrasted stitching, kind of like a gray and a red. Paddle shifters there on the back. Practical controls in the front, including for your cruise control, voice command, phone controls, SVR logo there at the bottom as well. And then your regular stocks in the back. Nice digital gauge cluster, which you can customize what information this displays. So just like most other digital gauge clusters, it's very user-friendly in that way. 360 camera system, and you notice a lot of stuff from Land Rover. They pretty much just took all of the modern stuff from Land Rover and threw it at the Jaguar brand, which I think is a huge plus because I really like how Land Rover integrates a lot of their features, UI, all of that. But yeah, easy to use infotainment system. And then you've got the multi-function climate controls down below, which I'm also a big fan of as well. And you can see the rest of the shortcut buttons for like the climate, the seats, and all that. Nice trim here on the dash. You can see heads-up display and then nice headliner as well. But yeah, kind of interesting with the design. And then we've got the glove box. More nice trim up above that. Phone charging pad, engine stop start with your volume control shifter here with the SVR. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, SVR logo on it. And then your drive mode select. Yeah, it's got the riser to go through the different modes. That's kind of fun. More nice trim and stitching and all that. Little charging port. Got some USBs to everything, good space in center console. It's similar to like a Wrangler size-wise. and the trim, and then we've got a big center fan. This brings us to the window sticker. So, oops, you can see SVR 575 edition. Got a few options added to it. 102,000. You guys probably can't see, but kind of. 102,108 bucks. Let's see how it performs. Well, let us set off in the F-Pace SVR. I think this is a super, super, super underrated car. And, oh, I forgot pull for vent speed. I'm trying to turn the climate controls down. But yeah, I really do think this is a super underrated car. So I'll talk about it at the end of the review, but it truly is. So, first off, what this is basically like, if you want to look at this like cross-brand, it's basically like a supercharged V8 Porsche Macan. That's what the F-Pace SVR is. Just listen to that. And the thing that I love about supercharged V8s is the power is super smooth and linear. Pretty much every other manufacturer has gone to turbo engines, right? Because of emissions. Supercharged V8s, they're gonna be a little bit thirstier. Put a little bit more tailpipe emission because you're just gonna have a bigger displacement engine. And so, yeah, the turbocharged engines, you get the lag, and modern turbocharged engines can do pretty good, like BMW's B58 inline 6, pretty rock solid. But that engine will never compare to this when it comes to instant response. And so smooth too. Again, 5 liters of displacement, so you got plenty of engine to pull from. It really is just a beautiful setup. And you can see why Land Rover's used it for such a long time. And you know, frankly, I think that they would keep using it if it weren't for emissions. To be honest, I think if it weren't for emissions, they would have just kept this in their other product for a lot longer. But they're going towards the turbo V8s now, just like everyone else, because, well, it's the world we live in. So this is going to be a little bit sporty with the ride. It's not uncomfortable at all. It's actually pretty darn comfortable. But you know, you're going to have a ride quality that's going to be a little bit firmer, a little bit sportier. Let's pop into dynamic. It's aggressive. Seats are comfortable though. Again, they're aggressive like bucket style, but they're actually very comfortable, which I think is quite impressive. And the handling's, yeah, it's sharp. Oh man, and you get the pops out of the exhaust. This thing is so cool. Oh, that's so nice. You don't get that out of a Porsche, really. You get the little turbo farts occasionally. Man, this is such a fun car. So stuff like this has convinced me that luxury car buyers are mentally insane. Hear me out. So here's what I mean. This car is objectively better than pretty much everything else in the segment. I know people are going to talk about Land Rover reliability, yada yada yada. It's got a warranty, quiet. Plus, I've talked to a lot of people that own modern Land Rover product, and outside of myself that didn't have the best experience with my Defender, most people actually have a really good experience. Like, they just do regular servicing and nothing really breaks. Like, Land Rover, Jaguar have actually improved their reliability quite a bit. That aside, this is $100,000. That's a lot of money. But you look at other performance luxury SUVs, and they're deep into the 6 figures, where this is just sprinkled, a little sprinkling into the 6 figures, right? So what this shows me, because I've reviewed all these different performance SUVs and luxury cars, is luxury car buyers really are paying for the name. They really are paying. Like, we all kind of know this, but this like proves this to me, because if you look at this and you compare it to a Porsche Macan, you compare it to an Audi, I mean, this is kind of similar in size, like Q5, right? Q8, kind of in that range somewhere. Q8's bigger, obviously, but you compare it to that, any of those performance SUVs, and maybe this isn't the fastest on paper, but this drives really well. It looks good. It has a very nice interior, like fit and finish is fantastic, nice materials, and it's just less money than the competition when you compare performance for performance. So this is a no-brainer, but people aren't going to get it because Jaguar isn't as hot of a brand as like a Porsche, right? People want to be like, I own a Porsche, right? I have my special deviated stitching. And you know, from my perspective, I go, if you're looking for like the best bang for your buck and a fun driving experience, this is better. Don't get me wrong, I love a lot of stuff about Porsche, but I don't know, I just think that if you looked at this objectively, if you went and drove a Macan and you drove this, you would get out of this going, this car feels just as nice, just as well built, right? All the touch points and how solid things feel and everything. And it's got a supercharged V8 instead of some dinky little turbo. Let me know your thoughts.